How's everyone going today? Okay. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
We're trying to get all the bugs worked out of this. So, does my does the audio sync up with the video?
Yes.
Okay. So today we're going to have the drawing for the Lavalock temp controller, and I wanted to try to do it live if possible. So we've been having issues with this live streaming. We still can't seem to get it just right. So so who all's here right now? Are any of the viewers having buffering problems with this? Hey, Kate Gillibard 2, how you doing today? Yeah, we've had so many issues with this live streaming. We're having to use our we're using our laptop and just trying to do it. The cameras will hook up, but then we don't get a very good stream, and I'm great, Kate Kilobar. I was just going to try to wait around, see if more people showed up for the drawing. We'll give them a few minutes. If they don't show up, then we'll go ahead and do the drawing, and they can try to contact me. So, yeah. I'll be right back. I'm going to give me some more to drink right quick. Okay, I'm back. Kilobar, have you ever drank any apple pie? That's what I'm drinking here. Yeah, it looks like we've got 3 viewers so far. Yeah. Yeah, this stuff is 180 proof, so it doesn't take much. So, and what I've done, I've entered. We're going to do this on this drawing on the random comment picker of that video that I had everyone do the comment on the Lavalock temp controller giveaway. Hey, Cutting Stuff Barbecue, how you doing today? Anyway, we had everyone leave a comment Lavalock on the video for the Lavalock temp controller, and we're going to give it away today. So we had pretty good response. We had 32 people respond on it. So yeah, I'm great. I'm doing great cutting stuff. Just been working on smokers and getting stuff ready. We're going to be doing some more filming tomorrow, so trying to get all of that kicked up and going. So figured we'd try to do this drawing live so that everyone can see how we're doing it. As I've explained to Gillabar too, we're doing it through the random comment picker from the comments that were left on the video for the Lavalock temp controller giveaway. So and we've been having some big issues with this live streaming. Cameras not wanting to connect. When we get them to connect, it's too much for the live stream to handle, and we get bad connection, and it's just been terrible. We're using our laptop just to try to get the live stream done tonight, and we're still working on it. So what I'm going to do, if you'll bear with me, I'm going to try to switch over, and we're going to try to go ahead and get the drawing done, and then we can continue on with the live stream for a little while if everybody wants to hang around. So let me switch over and see if I can get this live stream. Let's see. Okay. Alright, here is the YouTube random comment picker, and I've already entered the URL for the video, and I'm going to go ahead and load all the comments. Alright, we've got 33 unique users found, and at this point I'm going to randomly pick a winner. We'll see who it is. Okay, J.W. Funderburk, you are the winner. Congratulations, Funderburk. Give me an email. My email address is on the home page under the About. Just send me an email, and we'll get together, and I will get this to you. So congratulations, and if you don't get with me within 7 days, then we'll have another drawing for it, because somebody's getting this. So Hey, Charles Burrows, how you doing? Yeah, J.W. Funderburk won the Lavalock temp controller, so just get it to me and get your information to me and contact me through my email, and I'll get it right out to you. And like I say, it's a brand new. I opened it just so you could see what was in it. This is what we have here. And let me take these off. Like I say, it's brand new. It's never been out of the packaging. So. And we'll get this right out to you. Just send me an email. So. Well, Charles, that's real. I'm glad you found that advice on the upgrade on the Bradley. Yeah, I've done 2 of them now with 2 different upgrades. One with the double element and one with the 900 watt, and both of them work really good. I'm glad it helped you. So is the live stream and everything, is the sound and everything okay on this live stream? Anybody having any issues with buffering or anything like that? Yeah, Gillabar 2, yeah, I do a giveaway. I set milestones for my YouTube channel. And whenever I hit those milestones, I try to do a giveaway as just a thank you to all the subscribers to my channel. Because without the subscribers and the people viewing my videos, then I wouldn't have any, there wouldn't be any use doing it. I really appreciate everyone here. Okay, there's an echo. Let me see if I can fix the echo right quick. Do some tuning. I'll be right back. Okay. I turned the microphone adjustment down a little bit. Is that any better? Are y'all getting any cold weather up there in Canada, Charles? We're getting we're not getting real cold weather, but our temperatures here in Wyoming have dropped pretty good. It's getting down into the mid-30s at night, so I'm just wondering how it's going up there. Okay, great. I'm glad I was able to. Like I say, we're still fighting with this live streaming here. For the last 2 days, we thought we had our 4K cameras fixed for the live streaming, but we did some testing today before we did this, and we were having big issues trying to get enough. I don't know if the file sizes were too big and YouTube was having a problem with the getting it, but it kept buffering really bad, and it wouldn't work as far as the live streaming with the 4K cameras, so we had to basically go with this. Well, you live up in BC? Yeah, we're getting some Charles, we're getting some, like I say, it's getting down into the mid-30s, low 30s. I left work the other night and I had frost on my windshield. So, yeah, it's coming here. Wyoming's starting to get some cold weather. Of course, I live at about 5,500 feet above sea level, so that definitely makes a difference. So, hey, View to Grill, glad you could join us. Yeah, we just did the drawing on the Lavalock temp controller, and J.W. Funderburk won it. And as soon as I get an email from him with where to send it to, he's getting a brand new Lavalock temp controller. I really hope he sends me an email within 7 days so I can, go ahead and give this away. If not, we'll draw for it again in 7 days. So if anybody knows him, let him know he won it if he doesn't come in tonight. So, yeah, I'm really glad everyone joined us here on the live stream. So, and Charles, you did the 900 watt heating element upgrade. That so far has been one of the 900 watt. I did it on my 4-rack Bradley, and it wound up. It works, I think, a little better than the double element, the two 500 watt elements. So. Yeah, View to Grill, the Lavalock temp controller, especially on the UDS, that's the only thing I've used it on. It holds fantastic temperature. It'll stay within 4 to 5 degrees of whatever temperature you set it at. And I've run it 18, 19 hours and never had an issue with it. They work fantastic. So. Our next, when we hit our next milestone, we're going to have a pretty good giveaway too. I'm seriously considering giving away. I got that new pellet grill, that Z Grills 700E, and been doing some testing with it and stuff. Well, I actually got 2 of them in whenever I got it. So I'm thinking seriously about giving away a brand new pellet grill on my next milestone. So everybody can just stay tuned for that. I've been considering it. So, but has anyone got any questions or anything they'd like to know about? Bradley's got an upgraded heat sensor now. Does it seem to work better, Charles, than the old sensors? It seemed like there's some delay on this because we're using we're using OBS, so because I wanted to be able to switch between different frames so that we could show the live stream of the actual drawings. So it seemed like there's some delay between OBS and between OBS and the actual streaming on YouTube. So, well, that's great, Charles. If it stays within 7 degrees, that's fantastic. I know some people have went to PIDs on their Bradleys to try to stable out the temperatures. I haven't seen that much of a problem. Mine will stay probably within 4 or 5 degrees, just as it is. It heats up with those upgrades tremendously faster, and it recovers after you can fill it with cold meat and cold water in the water pan, and it heats up within 10 minutes. I mean, it's back to temp. So and I noticed that that the new smoker that Bradley's coming out with is a 1,000 watt element in it, and it's PID controlled. So, hey, Northwest Beast, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Kilobar 2, my favorite smoker to use. That's really hard because I use different smokers for different things. You know, if I'm going to use, if it depends on what I'm smoking. If I'm smoking fish, the only way to go is a Bradley. I mean, that's just the way it is. If I'm in a situation where I have to, where I can't babysit a smoker, then I'll go with an electric or maybe my ugly drum smoker with the Lavalock, because it basically turns into set it and forget it. I'm still working with that new Z Grill 700E, and I'm really liking it. It's kind of the best of both worlds. The only thing about it that I've noticed, it has a great smoke ring to it, like an offset, like my offset does, but it also doesn't seem to have the smoke flavor. So right now I'm working with using an Amazing Smoke tube in it, and that seems to really help bunches with it. And I've heard people say that is a problem with pellet smokers, that they work really good, they hold great temperature, but the smoke flavor isn't as well as like an offset or something. So I've been working with that. I'm going to have to say my all-around favorite smoker is probably going to be the Bradley. I use it for more things. I use it more often than I do the rest of them. I do use the offset. I love brisket off the offset. I mean, nothing cooks a brisket like an offset smoker does. But there's a lot of babysitting to the offset smoker, keeping temperatures up. The ugly drum smoker, if you're cooking pork butts or, for pulled pork or pork ribs, there's no smoker better for it than that. That does excellent. But just an all-around smoker so far, it's been my Bradley Electrics. Because I don't cook competitions. And not that I have anything against competitions, but I've had a lot of people ask me about smoking in competitions and stuff. But I'm more one of those, I would rather my friends and family, be the judge of what I cook. And so to me, an electric smoker, I can smoke some things on it that, like fish, if you're doing trout or salmon or any type of fish, there's nothing smokes fish better than electric smoker, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And we try to eat, a lot of fish around here. I mean, you can look at me. It's not like I don't eat well, but we're trying to eat more fish around here. So we use the Bradley a lot more, and the Bradley, my wife can use it. She uses it some too. I mean, it's basically set it and forget it. You put the meat and water in the water pan, and you're ready to go. So. Okay, Charles, on my briskets, I try to take them to 165 or whenever they hit the stall. And once they do that, once I have the bark that I'm looking for, I will actually double wrap it. And I take mine to 200 degrees internal. And once it hits 200 degrees, then I start probe testing it. And whenever it probes like butter, like I take my instant read thermometer and I start probing it. And whenever that brisket probes like butter, it may be at 203, it may be at 200, it may be at 210. Each piece of meat's a little different, but when it probes like butter, then I will. That's whenever I pull it, wrap it in towels, and I rest it in a clean, dry cooler for at least an hour. You want to cook to internal temp, but whenever you're talking about brisket, each piece of meat is so much different than the other. One it may probe like butter at 200, and the very next prime brisket you get, it may not probe like butter till it hits 205. I've seen people take brisket to 210, 212, and before they probe like butter. So it depends on the piece of meat, but you at least want to take it over 200. I start probing at 200, and whenever it hits, whenever it gets to the point where it probes like butter, then that's whenever I pull it. Hey, bluegill and bass, glad you could join us. So, but that's how I do briskets. Pulled pork, you can take it to 205, 210, and because my deal on brisket is, I want it to slice good, but I want it to be tender also. You want to break down a connecting meat. If you overcook it, it just falls apart to the point to where it's ready to just make pulled brisket out of it. It's not very good to slice, I've been smoking meats for I started smoking using a smoker. My old smoker was an old hickory bullet that I got, I think, in 1986. And I'll never forget the first thing I tried smoking in it. It was so terrible we couldn't eat it. So that was, I've made mistakes along the way, but I've tried to learn from them. So, hey, Daddy Dutch, glad you could join us. So, but yeah, on brisket, you want to do it. You want to probe test it. That's how you know when it's done. At least that's my opinion of it. So, but yeah, if anybody knows J.W. Thunderbird, let him know he won. So. So we can get this out to him. But keep watching, because if he doesn't contact me within 7 days, we'll draw again, and somebody else may. Daddy Dutch just got through working for CJ. How's CJ doing, Daddy Dutch? And if my speech starts to slur a little bit, the 180 proof's getting to me. So I'm really glad everyone could join me tonight. This is my first real live stream that I've done. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to get all the 4Ks up and running once we get everything figured out. It's been a constant fight. So yeah, we were just talking about some briskets, so So CJ's in chat with Rexy and Corey. Yeah, I like Corey. Corey comes up with some pretty good recipes. Northeast Beach, you talking about a live stream or a brisket? Because we've been fighting this live stream for a while. Yo Bar 2, salmon is really good. I've done trout. Trout's really good. Probably if I chose, it'd probably be trout. Of course, I like trout. We fly fish for a lot of them up here, so I really like trout. Beast LaFoe, I've never tried steelhead, so I can't answer that one. I've tried salmon and trout and muskie, but that's the only ones I've really tried. I'd like to try a shark or flounder. I've heard those are really good to smoke, but I've not had an opportunity to try them. This next week I'm heading to Texas, so gonna be down there for about a week. Hopefully, I'm gonna see if I can get my hands on some alligator, and see how it turns out smoked. Blowfish tails. Where in the hell do you get blowfish tails? Let me put my glasses on. I may not be reading this right. Yeah, blowfish tails. Yeah, I've done muskies once. They turned out pretty good. I don't know a lot about them, but they turned out really well. I think if I did them again, I would probably change a few of the ingredients just for my taste. But Massachusetts, yeah. Well, I'm pretty good ways away from Massachusetts here in Wyoming, so. If I smoke fish, Kilobar 2, I use alder. Alder's a real light flavored wood, and to me, I prefer alder wood with my fish. So there may be some, depending on your taste, there may be some different woods that other people use, but I prefer to use alder, and that's what I've always used to smoke fish. So, but next week while I'm in Texas, I may try to live stream. We're going to be doing some pretty interesting stuff down there. I want to go to Lone Star Grills, check out their grills. They're in Texas. Like I really need any more grills, but I'd like to at least just look at them. And we're going to be doing some wild hog hunting while we're down there. And you never know. We may try to cook one whole on a pit if we're able to connect. So, but while I'm down there, I'm gonna try to see if I can get some alligator, because I would like to smoke out. I've had fried alligator, and I really like it, and I've had fried rattlesnake, and those are two things I would really like to try on smoking, to see how they turned out. I'll tell you, the meat that I've been impressed with is yak. Yak is an amazing meat to smoke. I know it's hard to get, but I've got a yak brisket that I'm going to be a brisket flat that I'm going to be smoking here in a couple of weeks probably, and but those yak ribs we did and that hump roast that we did, that is some amazing meat. So yeah, if we get one, we're gonna probably try to do the whole hog. I've got access to a very large offset smoker down there, and we may try to do the whole hog and film it while we're down there. Rick's Barbecue and Specialties, how's it going tonight? Thanks for joining us from San Antonio. Yeah, I know a few people. I'm originally from down south, and I know a few people down there, and they say that they can hook me up with some gator, and I'm gonna try to get some. So 120 pound to 140 pound hog will fit in a Traeger. Gillibar 2, yes, I have smoked venison before. It turned out really well. Venison's a lean meat. I smoked some back straps. You basically you got to wrap them in bacon, but it turned out great. I'll probably try to I'm probably going to do some videos on that this year. Yeah, 120 pound hog is a pretty good size hog to fit in a Traeger. Okay. Now that sounds good, Rick's Barbecue and Specialties. A gator tail stuffed with cream cheese and jalapenos wrapped with bacon. That actually sounds really good. Yeah, I may have to try that one. I've had fried. My mother was Cajun, so I've eaten everything from snapping turtle to seafood, to red snapper and stuff like that, and squid and stuff. So, but the gator I've had and the snapping turtle was fried. It wasn't smoked. So I'd like to give it a shot smoking it, because I think especially gator, I think it turned out really good smoked. Yeah, I've not tried any Suckle Busters rubs yet. I've got some rubs coming. I want to try. The two rubs I've been using is either Chupacabra rub, which is out of San Antonio, and from Two Gringos, or the Killer Hogs rubs. That's the two commercial rubs. So I'm gonna start trying some other commercial rubs. Uncle Steve's Shake Uncle Steve is sending me some rubs to try. I'm going to try his, and I'd like to try the Suckle Busters. I've never seen Bruce Mitchell LaFoe. He's from Swamp People. Well, he ought to know gators then. A good friend, a young man that I know, guides for gator hunts. Paul Martin, and I'm gonna talk with him and see if there's by any chance that I could get some alligator from him to. Yeah, LaFoe, 2 Gringos Chupacabra. That's a really good rub, and that's if it's a store-bought rub. That and Killer Hogs are the 2 that I normally use. And I use it on a lot of stuff. I mean, and like on ribs, when I do ribs, I use the 2 Gringos Cajun rub, Chupacabra Cajun rub, as my base layer than the Killer Hogs. And on my pork ribs, and they're just unbelievable. The flavor from those. Their Chupacabras are. I've always liked the southwestern flavor of food and meat, and I've found that, in my opinion, the original Chupacabra rub is probably the closest to a Southwest flavoring that I've ever found. So, Cajun bait seasoning. I've never heard of those. I will have to check into those. Yeah, the gator season's going right now in Louisiana. Yeah, Paul lives in southern Mississippi, so LaFoe was born in the wrong part of the country. Yeah, well, I was actually born down south. I was actually born in Texas and raised in Texas, and migrated to Wyoming back in 1999. So been up here for a while. Still go back to Texas. I still have friends and family there. So we do go down there for fairly often. I still hunt down there some, and still have friends. Okay, I'm gonna have to check out. They use no MSG and use only oils instead of powders. You could. That sounds like you could. Sounds to me like you could also use that as like a marinade if you wanted to, LaFoe. So. Okay. Plus it's low sodium. Yeah, when you get up, people don't realize when you get up to my age, you start looking at stuff like that, low sodium and stuff like that. So use it like salt and pepper. Yeah, because if depending on what I'm cooking a brisket on, if I'm doing a brisket on an offset smoker, I use salt, pepper, and garlic. That's it. That's the only seasoning I use. I get more elaborate if I'm doing it like on a if I'm doing it on a Bradley, then I'll do a more in-depth seasoning on it, with other stuff. But I need to watch my salt intake. So, but as you get older, you run into things like that. And probably before Christmas, I'm going to do a video on how to make this apple pie. This is one of those things that'll fix, sneezing, coughing, headache, congestion, make you, commode hugging, lay in the front yard drunk type of deals, I mean, 180 proof, this stuff is stout. Yeah, LaFoe, that coarse salt, pepper, garlic. Yeah, I use granulated garlic, coarse kosher salt, and coarse pepper. Vic's Barbecue and Specialties, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, sea salt is supposed to be low in sodium. Green Bastard, well, my doctor doesn't quite seem to see it that way. Sodium does rule, but in some instances you need to cut back a little bit. And I've got 2 more years till I can retire, and I want to try to get there. If you get my drift, my job is stressful enough as it is, so I want to at least make it 2 more years till I can retire. And yes, I am antiquated. That's true. The doctor does want to make more cash for me, but I want to be around to at least try to pay him in the end. You know what I mean? The alternative is not something that I'm looking forward to. And I still feel like I'm 20 years old, but my doctor says that, no, you're not anymore, so. Yeah, I'm going to, LaFoe, where did you find that Cajun bait seasoning? Did you find it on Amazon or did you find it somewhere else? Well, my cholesterol's not too bad, LaFoe. My blood pressure is. I have a very stressful job that I do, so they try to have me cut back on my salt intake. They're trying to control my blood pressure, so hopefully we can do that. So no, Green Bastard. That's nobody wants the alternative. I mean, we're all eventually going to get there someday, but I'd like to at least see my grandchildren. I have 9 grandchildren now. I'd at least like to see my grandchildren married and starting their own families before it happens. So, but yeah, I'm interested in that Cajun bait. I'd like to check it out, LaFoe. Okay. Well, if you will email it to me on my email, let me see. Let me see if I can put my email in here. You can email me. Okay, there's my email. If you will email it to me, I'd really appreciate it. I'd like to check that out. I'm always open to new spices and everything. Like I say, Uncle Steve is sending me some of his shakes. I'm going to check those out. A lot of times I'll use my own, the stuff that I make myself, and just mix it up. But there are a few that store, commercial seasonings that I do use. But I'd like to check out that Cajun bait. and suckle busters. I've been thinking about trying out the Cosmo Q rubs. Okay, it's just at CajunBait.com. Yeah, I will check them out and try to get some of those rubs and just check them out. So just yeah, it's strange using my laptop. The connection is excellent for this live stream. If I hook my 4K cameras and everything up to it to try to do it with the 4K cameras, the connection just goes to crap. And I start getting buffering issues, and so I don't know what's going on with that. We're using OBS, but yeah, I got a sweet Creole onion blend and garlic blend and a jalapeno blend. All three of those sound good to me because I like Creole onion and garlic. And who doesn't like jalapeno blend? Really. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to fill my glass one more time. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, you like my fish tank? Yeah, that Oscar we got back there he's been around forever. So, yeah, he's one of our pets here. So, he kind of rules the fish tank. You used to have 3 Oscars or 3 fish tanks? LaFoe. LaFoe, what kind of dried mushrooms do they sell? Do they sell the morels or? Oh, okay, Jeff. Yeah. What kind of dried mushrooms do they sell, Jeff? Portobello? Okay. Yeah, I've had a few morels. I've never been really big into the mushrooms personally. I've had some of the morels, but just because they pick them around here. Yeah, cooking. I've had several people tell me that about the Cosmo stuff. I have never tried it. I thought I would just, I've heard people tell me that they didn't care for it. They didn't like it. I thought I'd try it just to see if maybe for my taste buds it was good. But I've had quite a few people tell me the same thing. Yeah, morels are really good with butter and garlic. Now, I will say that I'm not big on mushrooms, but yeah, the magic mushrooms. Yeah, I don't do those. So I read where the city of Denver just legalized possession of those. So yeah, I'm not. I've been reading a lot of good things about the Blackstone grills, and Jeff, and that's one of those things where I can get a grill set for my propane grill or my pellet grill. So I don't know about them Blackstones are expensive. So, but yeah, a lot of people rave about the Blackstones. So, but I still can't get over the magic mushroom comments. That was pretty good. Yeah, Jeff, a big cast iron skillet or a big cast iron. They make a big cast iron insert that goes in your gas grill. That to me would be as good as a one of those. I don't know. I mean, I just what I'm assuming. I've never tried either, but yeah, Blackstones are. I know I watch Sam the cooking guy. He's got one of those round. I think it's an Evo cooker. It's like a Blackstone, and those things are super expensive. But Jeff, I got a gasser, and I've got the grill grates on it. Basically, if we're going to do some quick hamburgers or something, I may throw those on there. But basically, what I use it for is reverse sear. If we're doing like tomahawk steaks or something, I will smoke them in the smoker and use it to reverse sear them for the sear, just for the grill marks. That's about what I use my gasser for now. You're harvesting your weed plants on the weekend. I hope you live somewhere where it's legal. So, yeah, that's one thing I never got into. But you're right, Jeff. There's nothing better than charcoal, but propane's faster sometimes, especially when you've got people that are hungry waiting to eat. So, but yeah, I sometimes I take my grill grates and put them on my charcoal grill and use them there, but a lot of times I'll just use my propane and just for the grill marks, because you're getting the smoke flavor and everything from the smoker. I usually the last tomahawks I did, we smoked them to 120 degree internal temperature, and then I threw them on there just for the grill marks. Yeah, Jeff, that sous vide, they sear on the Blackstone. Yeah, I've not tried any sous vide yet. That's something I'm probably going to give a try. I do something similar like with leftover brisket. Excuse me. I'll vacuum seal leftover brisket. I'll slice what we need for brisket or like pork butt or something. I'll take off what we need for the meal, and then we'll vacuum seal it and freeze it, and then throw the bag, vacuum sealed and all, in boiling water. That's right. Yeah, it is legal in Canada. Yeah. It's legal in a few states here in America too, so it should be getting toward the end of the growing season right now. Up in Canada. So I know there's a lot of BC bud that comes out of Canada into the United States. I've read about that. Pork, I'm going to have to say beef is probably my favorite to cook. Pork is right there with it. But I've here lately that yak, the yak that I've smoked and cooked has really impressed me. That could be some interesting stuff coming up. Yeah, beef is getting expensive. Beef is expensive here too. Pork is cheaper. Yak meat is even more expensive than beef. It's quite expensive, but just the flavor and the texture of the yak has really impressed me, and it's a leaner meat. It reminds me more of buffalo or bison, but the flavor of it is just unbelievable. Yeah, I think Green Bastard. I think it's cold up there in Canada where he's at right now. He's having to put more wood on the fire. Yeah, I've had Wagyu. And to be honest with you, I don't personally think it's worth the extra expense. You take a prime brisket and you cook it right, I think it'll rival any Wagyu that you can find anywhere. For the price, who wants to pay $200 for a Wagyu brisket? Really, I don't. Yak is kind of hard to find. It's just now, getting into the U.S. They originated up on the Tibetan Plateau, that's where they're at, and there's starting to be some people raising it here. If you get a chance, try it. You will be impressed at the flavor of that meat. It's kind of like halfway between beef and bison, if that's possible. Is where I would rate it, but it's like it gets the best of both. And elk, who doesn't love elk? Give me a break. Elk is the only way to go. I would have elk right now, but here in Wyoming, I can't seem to draw a tag for an elk. So hopefully my daughter or son-in-law in Montana will kill an elk, and they'll give me, hint, if you're watching, they'll give me some elk so I can cook some up on the smoker. But I've done prime briskets and I've done just the choice. If you're going to do a brisket, do a prime. Spend the little extra money and get a prime, and you'll be glad you did. Yeah, there is a difference between grass-fed and Jeff. There is a difference between grass-fed and just grain-fed. Like in a there is definitely a flavor difference. You can even tell it in wild game. You can harvest an antelope off of the prairie, the sagebrush prairie, and it's got a terrible sage taste to it. But if you harvest one off of an alfalfa field, they're actually really good. So what they're eating definitely makes a difference in the taste. So hopefully this year I can do some videos on the different wild game species we have here in Wyoming. Elk is really good, Jeff. You have to make sure that you get all of the gristle off of it and everything. It's really good to eat. And yak is really good also. And absolutely, Jeff, they are what they eat. If like I say, you kill an antelope, you harvest an antelope that's been eating sagebrush its whole life. It's in my opinion, it's only good for jerky. If you actually harvest one that's been eating alfalfa all of his life, then you can do roast, steaks, whatever you want with it, and it's great. Yeah, Jeff, in Connecticut, I bet wild game is hard to find up there. I've never been to Connecticut, so I'm assuming you have a hunting season up there where you can harvest some whitetail or whatever. This trip I'm taking to Texas next week, I'm going to do some hunting down there for some, hopefully some wild hogs, and hopefully get some video for everyone on that. Like I say, I've got access to a very large offset smoker, so we may try to do something with a whole hog down there while we're down there. So, and I want to stop by and I want to check out Lone Star Grills. Just check them out while I'm down there, and just travel around a little bit. Okay, Green Bastard, thanks a lot for stopping by. Have a great night, and thanks for checking in, stopping by. We may try to start doing this on a regular basis, and I really appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, Jeff, bow season now and shotgun season soon. Bow season started here in September 1st, here in Wyoming. And it closes October 1st. Yeah, Connecticut, I can see where it'd be the dense population to use a rifle. And I understand Illinois is getting that way too. But here in Wyoming, this is the least populated state of the nation. There's a lot of, miles and miles and miles of nothing, so there's pretty good hunting opportunities out here if you can draw a tag. That's the problem. You have to put in for a draw to get a good tag. So it's pretty up here in Wyoming and Montana and some of the different states have different rules on their hunting opportunities up here. Wyoming has a draw system where you have to apply for a license, and then they do a drawing for it, and certain they allow so many tags per area, and then they do a random drawing of names, and then that whoever puts in for those areas, and so many get a tag for it. The area I live in is fantastic elk area. It's area 7, but it's one of the most popular areas for elk hunting. So it's kind of tough to draw a tag here, but you can get preference points, so that helps. But yeah, Jeff, it's like a lottery in a way. If they offer 1,500 tags and you have 3,000 people put in for it, then they're going to draw 1,500 names, and that's who gets the tags. And then, so, and they pretty much do that for all the species. You can also, but you can apply for like a bull elk. You can apply for a cow elk, cow calf. There's different things you can apply for. So I mean, it's open. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. So, and chances that you have for drawing something here in Wyoming. You know, I know down in Texas, if you, yeah, they do it with moose. They do it with basically all game here in Wyoming, moose included. I've always wanted to go to Canada on a moose hunt, but you know, chances of me being able to are slim to none. So that's just, you know, kind of on my bucket list. You know, one of these days, if I get a chance, I would love to go on a moose hunt up there in Canada. So, but anyway, so I think we've drugged this. We've had this live stream going on long enough. I want to thank everyone. No, I didn't see the big one, the big moose someone just got in Alaska. Was it a good one, Jeff? Oh, a record. That's impressive. Yeah, a friend of mine went to Alaska and killed one that had a 72-inch inside spread. So if it's a record, it's got to be a monster. Yeah, that's amazing. And of course, they've got some big moose up there. Those Alaskan moose, they get big. They're a lot bigger than our Shiraz moose here, or Shiraz, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, a good Shiraz moose here is 40 inches. So, but those Alaskan moose get a lot bigger. But anyway, I think I've had this live stream open long enough. I just basically wanted to get this Lavalock given away, and if we don't have, if J.W. Funderburk doesn't contact me within 7 days, I'm going to redraw for this. Somebody's gonna win this Lavalock. So if anybody knows J.W. Funderburk, let him know that he wanted to contact me so I can get it to him. So I want to thank everyone for joining us, and yeah, it's been great chatting with everyone else. And I'll try to start doing this more often. Live stream, and like I say, next week we may try to live stream from Texas with some stuff. So if not, at least a video from that. So thanks a lot, and everybody take care, and we will see you next time.